Hey everybody, welcome back to Library Says. My name is Jamie, and today I'm bringing to you my third and final anticipated releases of 2020 video. So this video will cover my most anticipated releases September through December, so all the rest of the year. I'm going to tell you the title and the author. I'm going to pop up a picture of the cover and give you the anticipated release date. Of course, this is always subject to change, especially the ones out, like in December. But I think they, for the most part, have an anticipated release date. Instead of me trying to remember what they're about and probably getting it wrong like I've done in my previous videos, I think I'm just going to read you the summaries off of Goodreads so you actually know what they're about. And you can go check them out and add them to your TBR on Goodreads if they sound good to you too. Let's do it. All right, I'm just gonna break it down into months. These aren't actually in order. They're in whatever order I found them and put them on my list. So I'm gonna start with September, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, which is coming out on September 29th. Between life and death, there is a library, and within that library, the shelves go on forever. Every book provides a chance to try another life you could have lived, to see how things would have been if you'd made other choices. Would you have done anything differently if you had the chance to undo your regrets? That sounds super cool. I love the idea of books about libraries, though I have been burned before, but I'm excited and I'm hoping this one actually pays off. Next up, we have The Other Side of the Sky by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. They've written books I've loved in the past. This one has this gorgeous cover, and it comes out September 8th. Prince North's home is in the sky, in a gleaming city held aloft by intricate engines, powered by technology. Neve is the living goddess of her people on the surface, responsible for providing answers, direction, hope. North's and Neve's lives are entwined, though their hearts can never be. Linked by a terrifying prophecy and caught between duty and fate, they must choose between saving their people or succumbing to the bond that is forbidden between them. A forbidden romance, fantasy, sky people and earth people, and this gorgeous cover. I hope it's amazing. Then we have Dirty Empire by Nina West. This one's coming out September 15th. This is the third and final book in a very risque romantic trilogy. Nina West is actually K.A. Tucker, and her more raunchy stuff she's written as Nina West. This is the Sweet Mercy series. Sweet Mercy is the first one, Gabriel Fallen's the second, this is the third. I'm not going to read you the summary because it would be the summary of a third book, and if you haven't read the others, it's spoilery, but highly recommend. I read the last two in like 24 hours, and I'm desperate for the conclusion to the trilogy. Then we have Sky Hunter by Marie Lu, also coming out September 29th. Another stunning cover. I'm not gonna lie, I added this to my TBR because of that cover. I don't know that I've even read the summary. The Carenza Federation has conquered a dozen countries, leaving Mara as one of the last free nations in the world. Refugees flee to its borders to escape a fate worse than death, transformation into mutant war beasts known as ghosts. But as the number of ghosts grows and Carenza closes in, defeat seems inevitable. Still, one striker refuses to give up hope. Talon Konami knows firsthand the brutality of the Federation. After another devastating battle, Mara seems ready to fall, but when a mysterious prisoner is brought from the front, Talon senses there's more to him and meets the eye. Is he a spy from the Federation, or could he be the weapon that will save them all? I have a very hit and miss sort of history with Marie Lu, but I have high hopes. All right, next up is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This one also comes out on the 29th. This is the first book in a new series. A Deadly Education is set at Scholomance, a school for the magically gifted where failure means certain death, until one girl, Elle, begins to unlock its many secrets. Cool, dark Harry Potter. All right, and then my last anticipated read for September comes out on the 1st, which is tomorrow when I'm filming this, and it's Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. Yadriel, I don't know if that's how I would pronounce that, has summoned a ghost, and now he can't get rid of him. When his traditional Latinx family has problems accepting his gender, Yadriel becomes determined to prove himself a real brujo. With the help of his cousin and best friend Maritza, he performs the ritual himself and then sets out to find the ghost of his murdered cousin and set it free. However, the ghost he summons is actually Julian Diaz, the school's resident bad boy, and Julian is not about to go quietly into death. He's determined to find out what happened and to tie up loose ends before he leaves. Left with no choice, Yadriel agrees to help Julian so that they can both get what they want, but the longer Yadriel spends with Julian, the less he wants to let him leave. Ghost romance. Trans character, ghost romance. Beautiful cover. Moving on to October. First up is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. It's coming out on the 6th of October. It has this stunning cover, lots of beautiful covers this year, and I have been anticipating this since before it had a title or a cover or a synopsis, even though I'm not a huge V.E. Schwab fan. France, 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman makes a Faustian bargain to live forever and is cursed to be forgotten by everyone she meets. Thus begins the extraordinary life of Addie LaRue, and a dazzling adventure that will play out across centuries and continents, across history and art, as a young woman learns how far she will go to leave her mark on the world. A Faustian bargain. I'm just, yes, please. And the last one I have for October is Everything I Thought I Knew by Shannon Takaoka, and it's coming out on the 13th of October. Another stunning cover. 17-year-old Chloe had a plan. Work hard, get good grades, attend a top-tier college. But after she collapses, she's told she needs a new heart, and all her careful preparations are laid to waste. 6 months after her transplant, everything is different. Stuck in summer school with the underachievers, the new Chloe takes heedless risks, like skipping her anti-rejection meds while running wild with the class party girl and nearly crashing a motorcycle. Even more unsettling, her recurring nightmares of dying and the strange, vivid memories she doesn't recognize as her own. As Chloe searches for answers, what she learns will lead her to question everything she thought she knew about life, death, love, and the true nature of reality. I think this one sounds really interesting. The idea of maybe getting new memories after getting a heart transplant is kind of creepy, but also really fascinating. Then we have November. First up is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, coming out on the 17th of November. This heart-stopping debut is an imaginative Romeo and Juliet retelling set in 1920s Shanghai with rival gangs and a monster in the depths of the Huangpu River. Next up is Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett, which comes out on November 10th. I love Jen Bennett. Love her. I've given 2 of her books 5 stars and 1 3 stars, but I still enjoyed it. And this one I'm excited about too. Budding photographer Josie St. Martin has spent half her life with her single mother, moving from city to city. When they return to her historical New England hometown years later to run the family bookstore, Josie knows it's not forever. Her dreams are on the opposite coast, and she has a plan to get there. What she doesn't plan for is a run-in with the town bad boy, Lucky Carras, outsider rebel and her former childhood best friend. Lucky made it clear he wants nothing to do with her, but everything changes after a disastrous pool party and a poorly executed act of revenge lands Josie in some big-time trouble, with Lucky unexpectedly taking the blame. And maybe, just maybe, he's not quite the brooding bad boy everyone thinks he is. I'm on board. Small town, running the bookstore, bad boy, past friends to enemies to lovers. Yes. Ready Player 2. Do I even need to talk about this one? Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline is coming out on November 24th. There's its cover. We know nothing else about it. If he screws this up, I will never forgive him. Next up is A Sky Beyond the Storm by Saba Tahir. This is the 4th book in the Ember and the Ashes series. It's the conclusion to the series, and it comes out on December 1st. There's its cover. If you haven't already read the series and you're not already looking forward to it, you're mistaken. Go read it. I'm actually probably going to have to do a reread of all the other books because it's been so long and I've basically forgotten everything, because I want to give this 4th and final book its fair shot. Then we have This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins, also December 1st. When Minnie meets Quinn at a New Year's Eve party, it's clear they've got nothing in common, except for the strange fact of their being born in the same place at the same time on New Year's Eve. He is a privileged party boy who believes the world is his for the taking. She's a hard-working realist whose lack of confidence tends to hold her back. Opposites don't really attract. It's not like this is a rom-com, right? I mean, it sounds like a rom-com. It sounds like something I'd want to watch, so I'm gonna read it. Then we have Layla by Colleen Hoover, which comes out December 8th. I have not read her most recent one that just came out last week, Heartbones, which is like a new adult romance. This is like a paranormal mystery thriller romance, I think. Hold on, I can read the summary to you. Another gorgeous cover. But Colleen Hoover almost always has beautiful covers. When Leeds meets Layla, he's convinced he'll spend the rest of his life with her, until an unexpected attack leaves Layla fighting for her life. After weeks in the hospital, Layla recovers physically, but the emotional and mental scarring has altered the woman Leeds fell in love with. In order to put their relationship back on track, Leeds whisks Layla away to the bed and breakfast where they first met. Once they arrive, Layla's behavior takes a bizarre turn, and that's just one of many inexplicable occurrences. Feeling distant from Layla, Leeds soon finds solace in Willow. So based on that summary, I wouldn't know it was paranormal, but I know that I've read that it's paranormal. So I don't know, but it sounds interesting. Then we have Forever Wild by K.A. Tucker, which is coming out also December 1st. It is a novella and is the third book in a series, the Simple Wild books, Simple Wild and Wild at Heart. It's just a further continuation of that story, which I love. It's a small town romance set in remote Alaska, and it's wonderful. It's got a hate to love element. I'm very excited to continue. And then my very last book on the list is Admission by Julie Buxbaum, also coming out December 1st. It's hilarious. I'll read you the summary in a second. I love Julie Buxbaum. I have now read all 3 other YA books that she's written. I gave 2 of them 5 stars and 1 of them 4 stars, and I'm over the moon to read anything she ever writes. It's good to be Chloe Wynne Barringer. She's headed off to the college of her dreams. She's going to prom with the boy she's had a crush on since middle school. Her best friend always has her back, and her mom, a B-list Hollywood celebrity, may finally be on her way to the B-plus list. It's good to be Chloe Wynne Barringer. At least it was, until the FBI came knocking on her front door, guns at the ready, her future going up in smoke. Now her mother is under arrest in a massive college admissions bribery scandal. What did she know, and when did she know it? And perhaps most importantly, what does it mean to be complicit? Obviously, this is grounded in real-life news, and I think it'll be an interesting story for Julie Buxbaum to take on through the perspective of one of the teens, not one of the parents. Very cool. All right, those are all of the books I currently have on my most anticipated list for September through December of 2020. I'm sure I missed a whole bunch. If I missed any that you are super excited about, you think are a glaring absence, definitely let me down in the comments down below. And that's all. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.